homogeneous DE. This time, yung homogeneous DE naman, ang gagawin natin is mag-a-assign tayo ng variable, new variable, usually V. So, pero paano muna mag-identify ng homogeneous DE? First, define natin paano magkaroon ng homogeneous functions. So, meron tayong definition na kapag yung isang function ay homogeneous, let's say given tayo ng function f of x, y. So, pwede itong maging homogeneous if kapag in-evaluate nyo yung f of, let's say, any variable k, kx, ky, tapos yung kinalabasang expression is k raised to n times f of x, y, homogeneous yung function na yon. Okay? So, kung yung sa form yun ng DE na m of x, y dx plus n of x, y dy equals 0. So, ito yung form natin kanina ng DE. Itong m of x, y tsaka n of x, y is parehong homogeneous sa same degree. Itong n magsisilbing degree ng homogeneous function. Pareho dapat sila ng n at homogeneous sila at the same time. Pwede nyo gamitin yung technique ng pagsasolve ng homogeneous DE. Sige, solve tayo ng example kung paano ma-determine kung homogeneous nga ba yung isang function. Eto, try ko tong f of x, y equal to x squared minus xy plus y squared. Check natin kung homogeneous ba itong function f of x, y. Paano? Evaluate natin yung f of kx times ky. Ibig sabihin, dito sa mga x at y, papalit natin is itong kx at ky. Simplify. So, kx quantity squared is k squared x squared minus kx times ky is k squared xy, right? Plus, ky quantity squared is k squared y squared. So, pwede nyong i-factor out itong k squared. So, magiging k squared times quantity x squared minus xy plus y squared. So, pwede siyang isulat as k squared since itong x squared minus xy plus y squared is same dito sa original expression natin na f of x, y, right? Pwede siyang palitan as simply f of x, y. So, transform natin itong f of x, y in this form. So, k raised to n multiplied by original f of x, y. Kung saan yung degree natin ng homogeneity is 2. So, homogeneous itong function. Okay, so ganun mag-determine ng homogeneous function. Okay, so solve this differential equation. xy dx minus x plus 2y dy equals 0. So, identify natin kung homogeneous nga ba. Diba sabi ko, dapat yung both functions na nakamultiply sa dx at dy is homogeneous. Tapos, dapat pareho sila ng degree. Yung k raised to n kanina. Pareho dapat yung n. So, yung m of x, y natin is xy. Right? Ngayon, evaluate ko yung m of kx, ky. Papalitan ko yung x ng kx, yung y ng ky. So, simply, ito yung susundin natin. Kx times ky. So, kx times ky is k squared xy. Okay, so k squared, di ba itong xy is itong m of x, y. Homogeneous siya of degree 2. So, try din natin kung magiging homogeneous din ba itong n of x, bali natin, n of x, y is negative of x plus 2y. Ito. Evaluate natin yung n of kx, ky. Palitan nyo yung x ng kx, yung y ng ky dito. Negative of yung x, kx, plus 2, yung y, ky, equal to negative of, mali pala yung problem ko. May squared pa pala ito. Kasi nagulat ako hindi magiging homogeneous eh. Okay, so may squared ito. Okay? So, magiging negative of, factor out ko itong k. So, k times x plus 2y. So, makakasama yung k ngayon dito sa squared, right? Finactor out nyo kasi yung k, di ba? So, magiging negative of, distribute nyo yung squared, law of exponent, k squared times x plus 2y squared. Or, pwede nyong isulat as k squared. Diba itong negative of x plus 2y quantity squared is yung original natin na n of x comma y. So, palitan nyo lang yan ng n of x comma y. So, homogeneous siya of degree 2 din. So, para silang homogeneous of degree 2. Therefore, applicable yung way of solving ng homogeneous DE dito sa problem natin. So, apply natin. So, tuturo ko sa inyo kung paano yung pagsasolve. So, kapayan ko muna. xy dy minus x plus 2y squared dy equals 0. So, sabi ko kanina mag-i-introduce kayo ng variable. New variable. Usually is v. Okay? So, pwedeng x is equal to vy or y is equal to vx. Tapos, hanapin nyo yung derivative of both sides. So, in terms of differential, differentiate nyo to both sides. Dx is equal to product rule v dy plus y dv. Dito rin, magiging dy is equal to v dx plus x dv. Okay, so, ngayon, it's up to you kung anong gusto nyong substitution. Pwede naman pareho sila. As long as homogeneous yung DE, kahit anong gamitin nyo. Pero I suggest is gamitin nyo yung substitution na yung magiging, yung differential nyo sa given DE, let's say dito, yung dx. Diba yung expression niya is xy. Tapos dito sa dy, yung expression niya is negative x plus 2y quantity squared. Ano yung mas complicated? Obviously, ito. Right? So, therefore, ang mas madaling i-substitute is ito. Yung x is equal to vy. Para kapag minultiply nyo yung dx is imumultiply nyo tong v dy plus y dv sa shorter expression lang na xy. Okay? So, ngayon, sige, ito yung gusto ko, diba? Yung x is equal to vy, then dx is equal to v dy plus y dv. So, substitute. So, substitution lang. Yung x magiging vy. Vy times yung y as is, copy. Then dx, itong expression, yung v dy plus y dv. Minus, dito yung continuation. Minus, diba x, papalitan ko ulit, vy plus 2y as is squared dy as is, copy, equal to 0. So, simplify. Vy times y, vy squared times v dy plus y dv. Tapos, ang gagawin ko is if-factor out ko itong y. Itong y na to. So, negative of y times v plus 2. Tapos, wag niyong kakalimutan na nakasquare pa sila pareho. dy is equal to 0. So, vy squared times v dy plus y dv, copy ko lang. Tapos, distribute nyo tong exponent, law of exponent. So, magiging negative of y squared v plus 2 squared dy equals 0. Pwede natin gawing next is, kung mapansin nyo, may common factor yung first term natin tsaka second term na y squared. Right? Pwede nyong i-divide both sides by y squared. Para makancel, mas maging simplified yung expression natin sa differential equation. So, divide both sides by y squared. Cancel dito sa dalawa. So, matitira is v times v dy plus y dv minus, ito na lang, yung v plus 2 squared dy. So, 0 divided by y squared is still 0. So, ano nang next? Ano nyo lang? Simplify nyo lang. So, distribute ko tong v. So, ano yan? V squared dy plus vy dv minus v plus 2 squared dy equals 0. Ngayon, pwede kong i-combine yung may mga parehong dy. Itong dalawa. Factor out ko yung dy dito sa dalawa. So, v squared minus 2 quantity squared quantity times dy. Okay? Plus vy dv equals 0. So, simplify nyo to ngayong expression. V squared minus square of a binomial. V plus 2 quantity squared is square the first plus multiply the first and the second times 2. 2 times v, 2v times 2, 4v. Plus square the second, 4. Then dy plus vy dv equals 0. So, distribute nyo tong negative. So, negative v squared minus 4v minus 4 dy plus vy dv equals 0. Combine, v squared minus v squared cancel. Naging negative 4v minus 4 dy plus vy dv equals 0. So, pwede kong gawin is i-factor out ko itong negative 4. Negative 4 times v plus 1 dy plus vy dv equals 0. So, separable na ito. Right? Paano nyo isa-separate yung variable? So, pwede is multiply natin both sides by 1 over, eto gusto ko maalis sa dy. So, v plus 1. Tapos, itong y gusto kong maalis dito. Over y. So, multiply term by term. So, cancel si v plus 1. Matitira dito is negative 4 over y dy. Plus, distribute dito. Makakancel si y. Anong matitira? V dv over v plus 1. Equals, multiply nyo rin to sa right. 0 lang naman. So, 0 pa rin. Integrable na both sides kasi naging separable, right? So, integrate nyo both sides. So, integral ng negative 4 over y dy, yung negative 4, kilid nyo lang. Integral ng dy over y, negative 4 ln y. Plus, ano integral ng v dv over v plus 1. Katulad kanina, di ba? Meron kayong parehong degree nung numerator at denominator, v tsaka v plus 1. Pwede nyo i-divide. Divide nyo uli by long division. So, v divided by v, 1. Multiply this 1 to the whole expression, v plus 1. V plus 1. Right? Minus. Cancel si v. V minus v, cancel, 0. Tapos, ito parang meron kayong naka-plus na 0. So, 0 minus 1, negative 1. So, paano isulat? Yung quotient na 1, whole number, plus yung remainder na negative 1 over the same denominator, v plus 1. So, magiging integral, itong v dv over v plus 1, gagawin ko na lang in this form para ma-integrate. 1 minus 1 over v plus 1 dv. Okay? So, term by term nyo integrate. Integral ng 1 dv is v. Minus, ano integral ng 1 over v plus 1? So, pwede kayo mag-use substitution, pero obviously, magiging ln yan. Let u be v plus 1. du is equal to dv. So, magiging integral ng dv is du over v plus 1 is u. Ano integral ng du over u? Ln u. Tapos, ibabalik nyo yung u in terms of original v na v plus 1. Okay, so far, tapos na tayo mag-integrate sa left side. So, yung una, pagsasamahin nyo lang, negative 4 ln y. Plus, itong v minus ln v plus 1. Equal, so kanina, integral lang ng 0 yung right side. So, gagawin ko laging constant lang yan. Okay, paano natin to i-simplify? So, gawin ko is etong munang 4, iaangat ko as property ng logarithm, negative ln y to the 4th plus v minus ln v plus 1 equals c. Tapos, itong parehong may ln, ang gagawin ko is, ifa-factor out ko yung negative nila. Para silang may negative, di ba? Negative of ln y to the 4th plus ln of v plus 1 plus v equals c. Ngayon, anong property to? Ga-add kayo ng same base na logarithm, base e, product rule. Pwede nyo i-multiply. So, ln of v plus 1 times y to the 4th. Or wala nang parenthesis. Plus v equals c. Ang pwede is transpose ko itong ln sa right. So, magiging v is equal to c plus ln of v plus 1 y to the 4th. Tapos, gagawin ko ang same base e, both sides. So, magiging e raised to v equal, kanina na-apply na natin tong property, pwede tong i-separate as e raised to c times e raised to ln ng v plus 1 y to the 4th. So, magiging e raised to v. Ngayon, i-absorb ko yung constant. Kanina, nagawa na natin to, diba? Yung e raised to c, ginawa kong other constant c1. Absorb ko yung base e. So, let c1 be equal to c. So, c1 na lang. Tapos, property ulit ng logarithm. Kapag meron kayong base e na nakaraise sa logarithmic expression, cancel nyo yon. Equal lang yon sa v plus 1 y to the 4th. Ngayon, tapos na tayo. Ang gagawin nyo lang is ibabalik nyo yung v sa original representation. Kanina, ano ba yung nirepresent natin? Diba yung ito, x is equal to vy. So, if x is equal to vy, solve natin tong equation for v. So, divide both sides by y. X over y is cancel v. So, substitute here in the solution. E raised to v x over y equal c1. V plus 1. So, v is x over y plus 1 times y to the 4th. So, e raised to x over y is c1. Ngayon, combine ko to as a single fraction. X over y plus 1. So, magiging x over y plus y over y, right? Yung 1, ginawa kong y over y para maging same denominator sa y. So, e raised to x over y is equal to c1. So, same denominator sila na y, copy, and then add nyo lang yung numerator, x plus y. Y to the fourth. So, e raised to x over y is equal to c1. So, cancel nyo yung y dito. Yung y to the fourth, magiging y cube na lang. c1 times x plus y times y cube. So, diba mahaba yung solution? So, ito yung final answer natin. Y squared plus 7xy plus 16x squared dx plus x squared dy equals 0. This time, meron tayong particular solution. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. So, this time, magkakaroon tayo ng value sa constant kasi meron tayong value ng x at y. So, hindi ko napapakita na homogeneous siya, pero homogeneous to. So, pwede tayong mag-let anong maganda. So, yung sinabi ko kanina, ano yung mas complicated expression? Obviously, yung naka-multiply dito sa dx, right? Etong dy kasi is x squared lang yung naka-multiply. So, yung y equals vx yung gagamitin natin. Pero pwede rin naman yung x equals vy. Okay? So, magiging dy is equal to v dx plus x dv. So, y is vx. So, dito sa y squared, magiging vx squared plus 7. X as is, copy. Y, gagawing vx plus 16. X squared, copy. Times dx as is. Plus x squared as is, copy. Dy. Papalitan nyo ngayon nito. V dx plus x dv equal to 0. Simplify. Vx quantity squared is v squared x squared plus 7x times vx 7x squared v plus 16x squared dx plus x squared, copy ko lang muna, hindi ko di-distribute, x squared v dx plus x dv equals 0. Pwede kong i-factor out dito sa first expression yung x squared. Right? Common monomial factor. So, factor ko yung x squared, magiging x squared times quantity, v squared plus 7v plus 16 dx plus x squared v dx plus x dv equals 0. Pwede kong divide both sides by x squared para umiksi yung expression kasi common yun sa both terms dito sa dx at dito sa expression na to. So, divide ko both sides by x squared para ma-cancel ko yung x squared dito sa left. So, magiging v squared plus 7v plus 16 times dx plus v dx plus x dv equal to 0 over x squared, 0 pa rin. Ngayon, combine ko yung may parehong differential dx. Etong v squared plus 7v plus 16 dx saka v dv. Parang ifa-factor out ko lang tong dx. So, copy ko tong v squared plus 7v plus 16 then plus v multiplied by dx plus x dv equals 0. So, simplify nyo ngayon to. Combine similar terms. v squared plus 7v plus v is 8v plus 16 dv plus x dv equals 0. Separable na, di ba? Pwede na lang nating i-multiply both sides by, or sige, paiksiin ko to kasi factorable pa ito, yung v squared plus 8v plus 16 as v plus 4 quantity squared, right? Algebra. Factoring. dv, dx pala, sorry. So, dx, okay. v plus 4 quantity squared dx plus x dv. Okay? Ngayon, separable by multiplying both sides by, so gusto kong mawala yung v dito sa dx, nasa denominator. Tapos dito, gusto kong mawala si x, right? So, over x din. So, pag minultiply nyo ngayon, anong makakancel dito? Itong v plus 4 quantity squared. Matitira dx over x. Plus, dito naman sa other term, makakancel si x. Anong matitira? dv over v plus 4 quantity squared. Multiply sa right, 0, times this expression is still 0. Okay, pwede nyo nang i-integrate both sides. Anong integral ng dx over x? ln. Plus, paano ito i-integrate? Pwede nyong gawing, iangat nyo yung v plus 4 quantity squared sa numerator. Magiging negative exponent yan, di ba? v plus 4 raised to negative 2 dv. Tapos, by use substitution, let nyo itong whole expression, yung v plus 4, du is, derivative ng v plus 4 is simply 1 dv or dv na lang, right? Ano na ngayon to? Integral na lang ng substitute. v plus 4 is u. Tapos, raised to negative 2. And then itong dv is du. Power formula for integral. Magiging u raised to negative 2 plus 1 over negative 2 plus 1. Or u raised to negative 1 over negative 1. Simplifying, magiging negative 1 over, pababa nyo, negative exponent, negative 1 over u. Tapos, ibabalik nyo yung u sa original expression as v plus 4. So, negative of 1 over v plus 4. Tapos, combine nyo na lang kanina. Diba ito yung una nating na-integrate, ln x. So, ln x minus 1 over v plus 4. Tapos again, yung right side, integral ng 0, gagawin nyo lang constant of integration. Balik na natin itong v in terms of the original variable x at y. Ano ba yung substitution natin? Diba y is equal to vx? So, if y is equal to vx, anong gagawin natin? Solve natin si v. Divide both sides by x. So, v is y over x. So, ln of x minus 1 over v. Papalitan ko na ng y over x plus 4 equals c. So, simplify natin. ln x minus 1 over y plus 4x over x, right? Equals c. Tapos, ang gagawin ko is reciprocal kasi 1 all over y plus 4x over x. ln x minus x over y plus 4x equals c. Tapos, pwede nating isolve dito actually si c kasi meron nga tayong values nung x at y. Kopyahin natin. May particular solution. Substitute nyo ngayon dito yung x at y. ln x, so x is 1, ln 1 minus x1 over y, 1 din, plus 4x, 4 times 1 equals c. Ano ba si ln 1? 0, right? Minus 1 over 1 plus 4 times 1, 1 plus 4 or 1/5 equals c. C is negative 1/5. Palitan nyo ngayon yung value ng c sa na-solve nyong expression. ln x minus x over y plus 4x is equal to 1/5. Negative 1/5. Or, pwede na to, or sige, transpose nyo to sa right side. ln x is equal to, positive na siya, x over y plus 4x minus 1/5. Tapos, pwede nyo combine na sa single fraction. ln x, LCD. Anong LCD? Y plus 4x times 5. Okay? So, itong x, magiging 5x minus itong 1, magiging quantity y plus 4x. Tapos, distribute nyo lang yung negative. Dito, negative y minus 4x over 5 times y plus 4x. So, ito na yung final answer.